Hello everyone, today we're going to swatch out these new colors that I got from a gift from Sketchbox, and these are Rockwell, and it's the Dew Bloom Set 2. They're Aroma watercolors, botanical scent, and there's 6 colors, 8ml tubes, and I am going to be swatching them out on this watercolor book by Paul Rubens. It's cold pressed, and I will just show you what I've done in preparation here. Maybe I can just open that like that. It's a little bit closer since this is as far as my camera zooms in, but I will lift it up and show you closer when they're swatched out. So you might notice I've got some information here for each of the colors. And these are some stamps. It's a stamp set that I have by Waffle Flower, and it is called Color Swatches. So I just thought I would use that. There's a lot of different options. I used this large one up here, and then the pigment, and the brand, and the name in order to get these little stamps, and then I wrote down the pigment information and the name and the code for each of the colors. Let's go ahead and see what's inside this box here. And when I opened it up, these each were individually boxed as well. This is the box for Rosemary. Just in case you didn't catch me opening this, I have a video of that gifted art haul, but they each came in a little tube, box, not tube, like this. Inside of here was a lot of unwrapped. So I didn't put them back in the boxes. Gee, imagine that. But here they are looking beautiful inside of this lovely box. And then we will go ahead and put them out on a palette. This is 5 of them. There's a 6th one on this little palette here. So I'm going to move it down since we're going to start with Camellia here. Okay, do-over. Also, I forgot to mention that I used the archival waterproof acid-free ink. Hopefully that's dry now because I had to redo the whole thing. And this is a huge watercolor block that I have. It's Meeden cold press, 100% cotton, and I think it's going to do a better job than the other one, which maybe is better for gouache. I don't know. I did a little sample on there of the same thing I did on the Ash scrap. Come on, color. I mean light. So that's over there. I will show you the whole swatch, how it turned out on the Paul Rubens, but we're gonna try it on this paper instead. So do-over. So of course my colors are wet already, but that's okay. We're gonna start. Oh, and I didn't write anything down yet. Let me write it down. Camellia. Maybe I'll do a better swatch this time since it's my second go. I didn't give myself as much room, I think, over here, so too bad, so sad. Try to put just a wee bit of salt on the edge there. Next, we have Cinnamon. Now, the Camellia was PV19, just a single pigment, and it's the only one of set 2 that's a single pigment. Beautiful, bright. The rest of them, I think, have 3 pigments. And the bottom row all have white. Cinnamon has a lovely aroma of cinnamon. I'm trying to get the darkest tone here. It is a warm, kind of earthy color. Really pretty. Lots of kind of yellow pigment in it. Kind of. It is yellow. So for cinnamon, we have PY65, PR101, and PY43. And as far as having these colors flow, this paper is so much better. I gotta go back and look at that Paul Rubens. Maybe it is not 100% cotton. It was not acting like it. Trying to do things similar. My nut wonky heart. I think I'm trying to do, let me try to do like salt on one side of the heart and water on the other. I think I have more room here. Whoops. Yeah, we're putting a ton of water there, and then we're gonna put some salt on that side and see what happens. Next is Rosemary. It's a deep, rich color, very satisfying. It's almost black in its darkest. Just like a green-black color. Oof. But it can really be lightened up. So I like the possibilities on this one. I made this, I stacked this up so high I'm having a hard time getting to it. So if it looks awkward, that's why. My chair doesn't go up any higher, but I was trying to get a closer view without having to lift it up. Hopefully you guys like that. Let me know in the comments. Be nice, always be nice. But yeah, if there's something you prefer or any suggestions, I love to hear it. And a little too light there, but oops, went a little too dark there. Anyway, it's fun to play on a nice watercolor paper. Oops, I went out of the lines there too. Oh dear. Look at that. This could be moody, atmospheric. Then you have rich, deep. I love the possibilities of a forest and foliage with the rosemary color. Got really dark there. So I do see myself using this a lot, but again, I need to know about the light fastness, because maybe I just want to use it in a sketchbook and play around with it. Not that I'm selling anything anyway, but you know, I like to know. And I don't know anything about granulation. You can kind of tell, like I feel like these granulate a little bit, but I don't know, I'd like to know what the company thinks as well. Alright, we're moving on to Gardenia, which is one of my favorite scents of this grouping. And this one, I think, if I'm not mistaken, about whether the pigments are in order of quantity, I think this would have the most white in it. Let me know if you know for a fact in the comments. Do they list pigment information on paint tubes in order of quantity? I don't know if that's the right word, but you know how on a food item the ingredients are listed in the order in which, you know, the most is at the beginning and the least ingredient is at the end. Is that true for these watercolors or watercolors in general? It would make sense, but I don't know if anybody follows those rules, so it'd be good to know before making an assumption. And I can see, yes, this is much more opaque. I believe the labeling on the tube says semi-opaque, and you can see it kind of covering up my lines a little more. Pulling it out. I like, okay, this color, great for like a sky and clouds, but also little blue flowers, forget-me-nots. It's a very close color to that. I don't like what's happening here. It's kind of staining and not moving. Did I speak too soon about this paper? It is what it is. Am I still in frame? Yes. Throw some really wet water at it. And a little salt in this corner. There's gonna be salt all over my desk for a while now. Cherry Blossom, which this cherry blossom is a more peachy tone than I would expect. It's got like more orange in it, as you can see, with the PO73 being the first pigment listed. And it's really pretty though, and ooh, a very nice fragrance. I don't know that I know what cherry blossom fragrance is. Do cherry blossoms actually have a fragrance? Does anyone know? Let me know in the comments. But there is kind of a floral note that seems to go with these fragrances. So even like the cinnamon and the rosemary and the vanilla have sort of a florally hint of fragrance in addition to what I know as the smell of like rosemary if I was cooking with it, or vanilla. So they've definitely, I feel like there's something else in there. I can't say for certain, but it's nice. I mean, I like it. So I didn't do a very good job of a gradient here. I'll try to do a little better. So I feel like this would be a really pretty color for a rose, a peony. It's got all the botanical bliss that you could ever want. So I think it fits really nicely in this collection since they are supposed to be botanical colors. Whether or not it looks true to a cherry blossom, I don't know. But maybe. Considering I'm not a cherry blossom expert, I'm not going to even try to figure that one out. Some water in there. Come on, more water. Ooh, that was a lot. And a bit of salt. Just so. Finally, let's move this out of the way and bring my last little palette, Vanilla. Not what you would think of for vanilla, would you? I mean, I already said that in my previous unboxing. The gifted art hole, if you didn't see it, I will pop a link in the corner, and hopefully, if I think about it, in the description as well. Vanilla, nice florally fragrant, reminds me more of like vanilla that you would get in hand sanitizer or a body wash, you know. Not just the stuff you smell right when you're making cookies. Ooh, but I just love this color. And I do love a blue-green. And this one is more green than blue. But PB15, PG7, and PW6, it's a blue-green. So, of course, it's gonna be a favorite. I don't even know if like when I'm doing natural stuff, I probably don't use this color that much, but it is one of my favorites to claim as a favorite color. Turquoise, teal, all of the above. So this is a beautiful color, and I think looking at some images, the vanilla flower might have had some kind of a greeny, you know, that's where I think they get this color from. Is more of the flower or the plant, not what I think of when I think of vanilla extract or the sticks, because I don't even know if I've ever seen it growing. So of course the thing I think of was the stuff we cook with or bake with, and therein is why I was so surprised. But considering that this is a botanical watercolor set, it makes more sense that they're talking about the flower. Yeah. Alright, we're going to give that a second to dry. While that is drying, let's have a look at our previous swatches on the disappointing paper. I feel like I was being just a bit harsh calling this the disappointing paper, but it did disappoint me. But that's because I am probably not using it for what I should be using it for. Let me pull this off. And I also have some other swatches too. So here are the results on the Paul Rubens paper. A little bit of feathering there. I didn't like that. And of course I swiped too soon. It wasn't quite dry. But that is that. Hopefully you got a good look at that. I also wanted to share, this is fluid watercolor paper, cold press, 140 pound, and it's probably some sort of cellulose combination. I don't know if it says. And there's a few extra swatches on here, but at the bottom you can see Camellia, Cinnamon, Rosemary, Gardenia, Cherry Blossom, and Vanilla, and that's how it looked on that paper. And this is fully dry and not much, I don't think there's much fragrance when it's dry, and this has been dry for a while. So the fragrance part is kind of like, I think it's for when you're working with it. Let me smell this one. There's a hint of cinnamon still on this one, but again, that might not be fully dry. So, I don't know. I think it's more of an experiential element to it. I don't know if this is dry enough. I think we'll have to come back to this. Okay, finally dry. Took a long time. It is 100% cotton. And as you can see, I didn't wait long enough on the Camellia again. I tried to touch it too soon. But here is a close-up look of the swatch sheet on the Maiden 100% cotton watercolor block paper. Ask me any questions in the comments below. I'm happy to try to find an answer for you. And I almost forgot, I did check my email and got a response back from Rockwell that said to go in to the picture of the pigment on their website. So I have it up on my laptop right now. And for example, so the first line, there's 3 lines at the bottom of their little paragraph describing it. And the first line is pigment information, which is the same information right here that I have on my sheet. And then the next line is light fastness, and we'll just take this one for example, that I didn't know what LF 6 or 7 meant. The LF 6 is very good according to the website. It's the second line. And then the third line talks about the transparency, and this square with the bottom half filled is called semi-transparent. So all of these are either semi-transparent. I believe these bottom 3 show the semi-transparent logo. The top 3 are labeled as transparent with an open square. And these bottom 3, I believe, are LF6, which is very good according to their website. And I think the top 3 were LF7. And I'll have Camellia here to show you, which is labeled as excellent according to their website. I didn't get an answer on this hexagonal symbol, whether that's series or staining. I will have to follow up and maybe add it into the comments later, because I can ask them again, but it took a whole day to get that one response, so yeah, we'll see. And then I didn't see any granulation information, but as we can see, it does look like they granulate a little bit, so I don't know, depends on your definition, I guess. And that is about it for the swatching session. Let me know what you liked, what you would like to see different, because I still have the Winsor & Newton professional set to swatch out, and I can try to implement any changes, although I'm working with myself, and so I am limited as a human being. But hopefully you enjoy this, and if you do, please hit the like button so that I can know and others can know. Subscribe if you like, and as always, have a wonderful and creative day. Thank you for watching. Bye.